Hi, my name's Dr. Anita and I am a neuromusical educator. I have spent the past 8 or 9 years touring around the world going to research labs that are looking at music learning and brain development. I came away from those visits being so excited to share the research and wanting other educators to understand what was going on in the scientific field and how they could use it in their teaching. I have mostly worked with older children. I'm a secondary trained teacher, but through this research, I've really looked at music learning across the lifespan, and I'm terribly excited to be working with early years educators all over the world. The partnership with Boogie is such an exciting thing for me, and I really hope that you enjoy the 4 modules that I've created, which will sort of bring you into that world of the science. I started off with talking about the history, where this science has come from. It's kind of important to understand how it will inform us. Then I talked about the brain fireworks, what's actually happening inside the brains of your little ones while they are, doing musical activities or doing musical play. I then talk about the learning impacts that can have and how that can progress right into school, but into adulthood as well. It's important to understand the work you do now is work that is going to be incredibly important to these children for the rest of their lives. And then I will talk through a couple of different activities, things you'll be normally doing in your music learning with the kids, but what's actually happening inside their brains and what sort of skills are they learning. Another area that we know a lot about, the research has sort of shown a correlation between these areas, is something called pro-social behaviour. That's the technical term, but really it's about children who are kind to each other, have an empathy for other children, and who are willing to help, have an agency is the word that's often used. So pro-social behaviour is often taught, but also is modelled by many educators and by parents as well. How do we relate to each other? How do we help each other out? And we now understand through using music that pro-social behaviour starts incredibly early, even as young as 14 months of age. We now understand that kids sort of have this tendency towards being able to look at someone and understand how they're feeling, which is empathy. And then if they're in trouble or they can do something to help, they jump in and try and help. I remember, a lovely experience with my own daughter where we were out for lunch and I think she had a bowl of chips or something, and it came before our meals came, and she pushed it into the middle of the table and she said, "Your meals aren't here yet, how about you share mine?" That's kind of a pro-social behaviour act. And we really work so hard to help children to want to do that, but it's a really tricky thing to teach. We now understand that music learning is a great tool and teacher and encouragement for pro-social behaviour. There's an enormous amount of sharing that goes on when we learn music, when we play music together. And the making of a musical piece, clapping in time, requires kids to automatically work as a team and understand how everyone else is working in that team as well. So it's a wonderful team building skill, but also one that has greater enhancements because it helps kids to feel empathy and feel like they can take an action to help somebody else. Along with that, we now understand that music learning helps with social cohesion. There was some wonderful research I got to watch where I saw that as soon as a mother and a child started singing together, it started with the mother singing to the child and then they started singing together, I saw their heartbeats and their body temperatures align as soon as they started singing together. And this finding has been replicated all over the world. We now understand that when we sing together and when we move together, our bodies actually align, our heartbeats align. And this is the very quickest way to feel a sense of connectiveness, to feel that social cohesion, to feel together. And that's possibly why when babies are very, very young, we have this sort of feeling that we would just sing to them. And it doesn't matter how well we sing or if we're in tune or not. It's about that sort of connecting together and that feeling together. And music learning is just an extension of that, because not only do we use it as parents to connect with our children, children can use it to connect with other children. So the social cohesion part is incredibly important. Not just to feel good. We know that when children enter into school, they do a lot of things, in groups. They learn together. And the more we feel part of that learning culture, the better the learning will be. So through all of these things that I've outlined here in this particular session, we now see that music learning can help build a child in many, many different ways that prepares them for their next step into school and gives them all of the cognitive foundations to achieve both socially as well as academically.